plastic waste management amendment rules. So the Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change came up with this notification. What was this notification? This notification was specifically with respect to prohibiting single-use plastic. Single-use plastic. Yeah. Now, any idea who in India is really passionate about banning of single-use plastic? It's a very vague question, like UPSC question. You'll say, I am also passionate. Yeah, you are. But I'm talking of some very important person who is passionate about banning of the single-use plastic. Any guess? Exactly, it's our Prime Minister. He is kind of the poster boy is not the right word. He is kind of the messiah. He is the brand ambassador. That's the right word. He is the brand ambassador for single-use plastic. Are you aware that our Prime Minister, I'm not sure if he's talking now so frequently, but till recently he had this program called Mann Ki Baat, yeah, wherein he talks to the people of India and takes up the theme. So I have heard him talk or being quoted as having talked on multiple occasions. So he's a big champion of single-use plastic. Okay, so that is why this comes. That is why this further rules have come. Because if you remember in the last class, we had already talked of plastic waste management rules 2016. Then comes your 2018, and now we are saying 2021. So this is interesting. Yeah. So this is a third amendment. Why? Because none other than the Prime Minister himself is personally invested in this single-use plastic. Okay. So that's there. And what India has done, because the Prime Minister had kind of personally invested in it, India also committed in the United Nations Environment Assembly in 2019 that we will, do this. Then obviously it becomes a, they say in Hindi, izzat ka sawal. You said that in front of everyone, so you better come back and implement it as soon as possible. And the government followed up. Now, what is single-use plastic? Okay, invariably we would be using them. So in order to just give you a sense of what a single-use plastic, see, one single-use plastic is very simple. You go to a roadside fruit vendor and just take some 6 banana, and you say you don't have a bag. They're generally kind enough to give you a plastic bag sometimes. It is so thin. Yeah, you will sometimes even feel whether the bag can hold the weight of a banana, but it does, and you take it home. Most probably, you are not going to store that plastic, even if it is not so, because it is so thin, so small, it appears as if it has just been suited for you to buy 6 bananas. Okay, so what will you do? One way or the other, that plastic gets into your dustbin. Okay. Now, so that is one example of single-use plastic. That plastic's usage was just for 10 minutes to bring the banana from the shopkeeper to my house, after which it has gone into the dustbin. That is a single-use plastic. That's one end. Now let me, step up a little bit. I go to a very fanciful mall. Okay, I go to which coffee shop do we like? Let's say Cafe Coffee Day. I go to Cafe Coffee Day, and they give a cup which is kind of recyclable material, paper material. But the stirrer, you have seen the stirrer? Have you seen a stirrer? Very, very thin and it is hollow. Okay, the stirrer is made up of plastic. So that's an example of single-use plastic. Candy stick. If ever you have purchased a lollipop for the kids, the candy stick, that's a single-use plastic. Earbuds. All these plastic plates, spoon cups, wrapping material, all of these are single-use plastic. What is common in majority of the single-use plastic is the constituent. So this is something which I would want you to remember. Not that it is definitely going to come to prelims, but it's generally, underlying things which are important. Yeah, what is single-use plastic actually made up of? It is made up of polystyrene or expanded polystyrene. These two terms you can remember, guys. Okay. Now, one thing is to ban, okay, single-use plastic. Now, second, going back to my example of me purchasing 6 banana and bringing them in a very, very thin polythene cover. That is one example. And I gave you the second example of me going to the coffee shop and then having a stirrer. Most probably the stirrer is put into the dustbin. Third, let's say I go to shopping and we purchase some, let's say, sari or clothing. If you have seen now, all the sari shops in Chennai, I mean, Chennai is famous for sari in case you're not aware. So all the sari shops in Chennai, they have started giving a different kind of a bag, quite heavy jute bag kind of thing. But earlier they used to give a plastic bag, but it used to be very thick plastic bag. Means you can carry comfortably some 2 kgs of material in those plastic bags. Okay. Now I have also observed in my house, my mom when she takes those plastic bags, we have come home, there was sari has been kept in the almirah. The plastic bag does not go into the dustbin. I'm sure you would have observed this in your family also. Usually the plastic bag goes to a drawer which has a lot of similar plastic bags. Now what is happening here? In one case, I did not even think twice to put a small plastic bag into the dustbin. On the other hand, even before these plastic rules came, I'm talking of 10 years before, okay, my mother, what she used to do, she used to keep this plastic bag inside the shelf or inside the drawer. She did not at that point know that plastic is causing environmental damage. She was just being smart of trying to unnecessarily save expenditure of buying a separate bag. So what we used to do, we used to use the same plastic bag to go to shop X, shop Y, shop A, shop B, purchase 10 different things. What was fundamentally different between both the plastics? Someone can answer me. That is the plastic that I purchased from the food dealer versus the plastic bag that my mom got from the clothes shop. What was fundamentally different? Any idea? Very good, Vaibhav. Quality is correct, Sheta, but the more accurate answer is thickness. Quality is good, therefore you felt like keeping. That is true. It has a nice brand and all that. But the actual point is thickness. Now, what is happening here, guys? By just increasing the thickness of the plastic bag, you are somewhat creating a behavioral change in the consumer who thinks, why to throw this? This looks like a good bag, yeah. And as Indians, I think one good thing about Indians is we generally tend to save anything. Do you agree? Sometimes it can be counterproductive. I'll speak about the saving ability when we talk about e-waste also, how that can be counterproductive. But in plastics, that's a very, very useful thing. What you've done, you kept the plastic wide because you try to stretch it, you see that it's not transparent, it is thick, and therefore you feel that you can reuse it. It is this mentality of Indians that this law also, I feel so. I mean, the law doesn't explicitly state that, but I believe that is the reason why they are planning to increase the thickness from 50 micron to 70 micron. So this is by September 22, yeah, 30th September 2022, and by 120 micron by next year. Okay, so what is happening? All those applications where single-use plastics were being given, the manufacturer himself increases the thickness. This may have an impact on cost, by the way, but somewhere the cost will get passed on to the consumer only. So the shopkeeper lady who was selling 6 bananas for 30 rupees, she'll charge 35 rupees, including for the cover, and I may not even realize it. But at the end of the day, what we are doing, because I purchased the cover and I find, yeah, this cover looks good, yeah. So I might as well put it in my bags wala cupboard. Okay. So that's about the plastic waste management rule. But we are still sticking with plastic waste. We are not yet done with plastic waste. There are some data, it really helps. I was personally happy when I got to know that 60% of plastic in India is recycled here. I think that's quite a good thing. 60% is being recycled. Not other sectors, none of the other sectors that I know, for example, e-waste or the other sectors, so municipal solid waste, they come nowhere close to this. So to that extent, the recycling of plastic is still better than the recycling rate of some of the other polluting materials. The 2016 amendment rule itself brought this principle of extended producer responsibility. I think I touched on extended producer responsibility. Now, the 2021 amendment, what it says is, it says so many things are included. Yeah, all these things are included under single-use plastic. There is one category of plastics called as plastic packaging waste. Plastic packaging waste. So when you are purchasing something, between the outer cover and the inner one, you will have some plastic waste. There will be thermocol, of course. Thermocol also is, by the way, classified as plastic here because yeah, here I have mentioned thermocol. That's also included in the plastic. The technical name is polystyrene. So there is thermocol, and there is also some packing material. You would have seen. Have you seen this? What do I call? I don't know the name, but my daughter, she keeps popping it. It makes a sound. This bubble kind of a thing. You just turn it, it makes a sound. So that's also plastic. That is not getting covered. That is also single-use plastic, by the way, because it comes, you use it only for packaging once more. That is also single-use plastic, but that has not been brought under the purview of the single-use plastic. But in order to compensate for it, what the government says, that has been brought under the ambit of extended producer responsibility. And in this, the law says it is not just the producer, it is the producer, as in the manufacturer, the importer, and the brand owner. All three are responsible. So the responsibility is not at the producer alone. If the producer was in a different state or a different country, so that it's a little complicated. How do you make it liable for a person who's outside India? But at least that's what the law says. It's on the producer, the importer, and the brand owner. If the brand owner is a software drink manufacturer, he and the person who imported the plastic for him and the person who produced the plastic for him all have been brought under the purview of extended producer responsibility. And these have been given a legal force. So earlier there was extended producer responsibility, but this time they have been given a legal force, penalty in case of non-compliance. Okay. So the extended producer responsibility concept, I have kind of shown it here, which is self-explanatory. So you start with the manufacturing guide, the retailer sells the product, the consumer buys and uses the product, then it is used for recycling. Yeah. So in this case, once it is recycled, the producer uses the recycled material to manufacture products. So that's on the Plastic Waste Management Amendment Rules 2021, in which we looked at the concept of single-use plastic. Yeah, one important thing, the Central Pollution Control Board is a nodal agency. Even while we talk about CPCB, I told that while it focuses primarily on air and water, it also focuses on plastic, e-waste, and some of the other, even municipal solid waste also it comes under CPCB, where it does in conjunction with the what do you call them, with the municipal bodies, but it is at a central level, it is a nodal agency even for coordinating action points related to municipal solid waste